Welcome to the Manuchehri podcast. Over the last 30 years, it has been my joy to assist humanity in aligning with their magnificence so they may heal, discover their natural gifts, and communicate with loved ones living on the other side. May you also experience delight while we dance in the powerful, intuitive world of energy. Let's get going. Welcome to Where Energy Meets the Divine. I'll be your host for the next 40 minutes or so. I wanted to talk about reality. When you live in a world like the physical reality that we all live in, the physical experience is like our baseline. Like there are certain things that are happening on the earth in this physical form that consistently happen. Like we have to consume food, we have to pick our food or buy it from the grocery store. We have to put gas in a car. We have to clean our cars. So there's a baseline of things that are occurring all the time and will consistently occur in this reality. But then there are all kinds of other realities. And those realities, you enter them based on your vibration and your frequency, which can affect the baseline reality. So if you're someone who maybe doesn't always purchase the best food for you, or you don't cook the best food for you, as you start to enter into higher echelons of reality, there's so many forms of reality in our physical world. As you start to move into higher forms, because you're running your energy at a higher level, the baseline reality even changes for you. It's like even the food that's not good for you, if it's in your pantry, if your reality indexed indicator is elevated, you're not going to find it. You're not going to see it. If you typically cook food that's not in your highest good, like you might be allergic. There's a lot of people who have food allergies. I don't think that most of the human population should eat wheat grown in the United States. Wheat grown in other countries, not all of them, but other countries, is actually better to digest. But wheat in our country is not good for most people to digest. It's not good for their body. So if you're used to cooking with unhealthy foods, when you go to cook and you look in the refrigerator, you're going to be drawn to different foods. You're going to be attracting a higher vibration, which means a completely different reality even exists in your refrigerator. So to get to these higher vibrational realities, yes, you do need to run your energy higher, which means the subatomic particles that are in your body and of your body are going to move faster, not phonetically fast. That's stress and anxiety. That's truly, when you're not in alignment with your sympathetic system and you're in fight or flight, that's that phonetic energy. When you run your energy higher, it's as if the world around you has slowed down. You can take more time to make a decision. You can enjoy a meal or a conversation as if no time went by at all. I know it seems odd, but when these particles run at a faster rate, your life becomes more glorious and you begin to see the world in different potential realities. These realities exist, but in the beginning, you're going to go, well, that's really weird. I had such a good day. Everything worked out fine. I got a good parking spot. I got to the restaurant on time. My friend bought me lunch. They had the best food on the menu. When my family called me, they were so nice and so loving to me. Oh, I found out I got this great refund that I'm not even sure where it came from. That's a different reality than someone who can't get a parking spot, is massively late to the restaurant, forgets their wallet, but their friend doesn't have enough money to pay for it, or is annoyed that they have to pay for it. Their family member calls and says something not very nice to them, and they get a big bill in the mail. That's a different reality. All the realities that people experience on Earth are based on vibration and frequency. So where do you want your vibration? You want your vibration elevated. You want to be able to be financially free, feel unconditionally loved, do work in the world or hobbies that are incredibly fulfilling for you, which does help humanity. When you do things that are fulfilling for you, that helps the human race. A lot of people think they have to do things to help humanity to feel good. It's the opposite. Do things that make you feel good. I mean, really good, like really, 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 really good. That will help the human race. So back to the conversation we've been having for a long time on this podcast. You need to find things that authentically bring you joy. And then you need to repeat either thinking about them or participating in it if it's an activity or a choice over and over and over and over again for the rest of your life. You can't just do it one day and expect your vibration to stay elevated. We have too many human beings who vibrate their energy low. So they're still in the predominant frequency that circulates around the earth realm. Most people are in a low frequency and a low vibration, which makes life more of a struggle, more dramatic, more difficult, more challenged. Even if let's say someone has enough resources, they're healthy right now, they have good friends in their life, they may speak so negatively that the vibration coming from their throat chakra that's not at all positive, they may say mean things about other people every single day. They could just be spewing unkindness. That's going to lower their vibration, which will ultimately negatively affect their life. It could happen quickly. It could take a little bit of time, but it will eventually happen where it will negatively affect them. Then they can really complain about something that's actually really happening that's not fun or fair from their perception in their life. But for everybody else, practicing running your energy higher. A fun thing to do that could be useful for you is go into your memory banks and pick some moments in your life that were incredible for you. Like, oh, gosh, that was a great day. Or, man, I can't believe that happened. Go in your memory banks and pick something that was really phenomenal. I remember the day I graduated from nursing school. That was a very cool day. And people love nurses, which I didn't really know until I graduated. Once you tell someone, oh yeah, I'm a nurse, you pass your boards and whatnot, your exam to get your RN license, and people are nice to you. They ask you what you do for a living. You go, I'm a nurse. Like, oh, I love nurses. So I remember that day so beautifully. Like my family was really proud of me. It was a big celebration. So many of my friends came to my graduation. And then the events that occurred after that day just got better and better and better and better. I also loved nursing school. So my vibration was already elevated just by choosing a career path that went against every logical mind, pretty much every logical mind that I knew at the time, who knew me and knew my love and holistic medicine. But choosing things that bring you joy, that don't always make sense. They're not logical. They're a healthy, loving, surprising emotion that doesn't and won't make sense to your brain. So you choose something. And let's say that you're looking at a past situation where you chose something, just remembering that moment and having enormous gratitude for that moment will raise your vibration. So if that's the best way that you can highlight and raise the frequency of your energy system, great. That's what I'm going to ask you to do every single day. Every single day, pull a memory that inspired you and you cherish and you wish you could experience it again, and let yourself experience it and have enormous gratitude for it. If you love snow, like it was snowing or it's been snowing in the Northwest today, celebrate the snow. Dance around the house. Go walk in the snow. Find reasons, simple, beautiful, amazing reasons for you to get happy so that you can begin to live in a different reality. Because in truth, people who run their energy high and live in a higher frequency of subatomic particles, it doesn't matter where they live in the world, doesn't matter who's the president, doesn't matter anything about politics or any form of government or HR, or if they work for a company, it will not matter what choices the outside world makes. Your life will be untouchable, except for with grace and high frequency and joy and love and happiness. Heading to the phone lines now.
Hi, Marie. My name's Dianna from Arizona. I contracted chronic fatigue syndrome about 13 years ago. At the time, I was living my dream. I'm a licensed marriage family therapist, and for years I'd been developing my equine-assisted psychotherapy practice. And I finally had this lucrative contract, and I was working with high-risk kids that I loved to work with. And out of the blue, I got a very no big deal flu. And after a couple of weeks, I was getting worse instead of better. and I actually couldn't stand anymore. And within 3 weeks, I was bedbound. I feel like I've mostly embraced the experience and have tried to learn what higher good I could gather from it. Being a workaholic type, it's been very challenging because if you do try to push yourself too much, there's a good chance you experience what's referred to as a crash, where your symptoms get very bad again. So I've been pretty good about listening to my body, being respectful of my limitations. I've been getting help from my spirit guides. Things would just kind of pop up on my radar, different things to try. And I'm maybe 70% back, but it's still really difficult. I can't really make plans because symptoms come on really quickly. And because I don't look or sound sick, people don't get it and they think I'm just a whiner. So I've lost a lot of my friendships. I'm just feeling very stuck. So whatever light you could share on this, I'd appreciate. I also have a lot of people who've passed. My parents died over 40 years ago, and a lot of very dear friends have passed. So any messages from the other side, I'd love to hear. Thank you so much. Bye.
You're very welcome. I'm so sorry that you've gone through all of this, Dianna, and I'm so glad you're 70% better, and I'm also glad you embraced the experience. So chronic fatigue syndrome, which I'm sure you know, it doesn't just happen overnight. The immune system had to have been radically breaking down. And then something, it could have been a vaccine. Not that I'm against vaccines. I think some of them are very good and highly necessary, but of course, individualized, or a cold, which you experienced, or if somebody got into an accident and their immune system got a little shooken up, and then the domino effect occurs. So the dominoes were already barely standing. So right before someone starts their first chronic fatigue collapse, if you will, their immune system's already in the toilet. So this had been going on for years, before you actually had that first crash. And being an workaholic is not good. It's not the type of who you are. It's a defense mechanism. You use it to cover up your emotions and stay fiercely independent and not let people help you. And these friends, these are not friends. I'm like you. I don't look sick when I have a cold or something. I don't look sick at all. And so like my family doesn't always understand that I don't feel well because I look good and I can even take care of myself. But one of my all my friends are lovely, but one of my dear friends, I had a really bad cold a couple years ago. I think I got RSV. All the grandkids were sick, and then me. And she came over to the house. She brought me soup. She made me a beautiful pillow, sat with me because she had just gotten over something similar. She wore a mask, sat on the other side of the living room. So these are not good friends for you. You want friends like my friend who came over to the house and took care of me and nurtured me, made sure I was okay, checked in with me. And so it's actually good these people left your life. What needs to happen, because what governs the immune system, and you've already improved by 70%, so that's excellent, congratulations, is that you need to fall deeply in love with you. When you start to love yourself authentically, which is an emotional experience, it's not a thought. It's like loving a dog or a small child, a country, a body of water, flowers, or anything else, cars. People can love cars. It's an emotional experience, and it actually is what builds the immune system. So our immune system is as strong as it can be based on how much we authentically love ourselves. So at any moment, we could start authentically loving ourselves and quickly begin to strengthen the immune system. And I don't think you're supposed to take care of these hard cases, like the children that have really incredible challenges. I know you love it, but you're an old soul. Well, old souls are not supposed to be working on learning compassion. Their job is to learn self-compassion. So you need to fire yourself from any of these hard populations of people, even though you love it. I'm sure you're very good at it. But just because you're really good at something doesn't mean you're supposed to do it. Doesn't mean that. No, it does not mean that. It means, I think, in most cases, that if you're not being truly challenged, then you need to be doing something else. You need to get curious about things that inspire you and raise your vibration and make you happy, those are the things you need to be investigating. So fall in love with yourself. That will make all the difference in the world. And you could start with a what if question. What if I'm madly in love with me? It's a really good question. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Hi, Marie. My name is Sarah, and I'm from San Jose, California. I just had a question about this small blue light
Mm.
that I have been seeing kind of in my periphery.
Mm.
Um, and it will be mostly on my right eye. Sometimes on the left, but mostly on the right. I have seen an eye doctor, and she said everything was totally fine.
Yeah.
Nothing was abnormal. And I was wondering what this is. I was trying to see if there was a correlation to anything.
Yeah.
And it just seems to occur when I'm not really thinking about anything. It's just kind of random.
Right.
So I was just wondering what your what your thought could be about that. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Sarah. That's a great question. So I'm going to tell you all of the things that came up for me while you were describing this blue light. And I'm glad you went to the doctor and it's fine. Yeah, that's great. So blue is the color of the fifth chakra and the fifth layer of the auric field. I believe the fifth chakra right in your throat is the most powerful vortex in the body. I think it is extremely powerful. The fifth layer of the auric field is called the divine plan or one's life purpose. And embedded in this beautiful field of energy that is blue are all of your natural gifts and talents. And the right hand side of the body is about personal power. It's the masculine side. So you're visualizing this blue dot, which is lovely. It's always there, or it's probably always been there, quite frankly. But you're learning to calm your mind. You're learning to stay out of fight or flight because intuition cannot be accessed through low frequency, overthinking, or analyzing. It is a very calm, compassionate, surprising, seeing the blue light, surprising energy. So you're right. When you're not thinking anything, you raise your vibration and your frequency, and boom, you start to have a multisensory experience where you're now connecting with an orb of light. This could be a departed loved one because sometimes when people start to see the other side, it's from the peripheral vision. It's really interesting how that is. You might start to see shapes. This could be an orb, which could be a being of light who's sharing information, wanting you to speak your truth, which you did so eloquently. You described it beautifully. Again, this could be a departed loved one. Start talking to it. A lot of people think that when it comes to the intuitive world, you have to wait till they talk to you. I mean, you could, but that could take a long time. I would engage. I would say, hey, I'm seeing that your light. I love it. It's very beautiful. Please express to me whatever's in my highest good. Start having some conversation. Start having fun with it. Stay in the high frequency. It's exciting. Yeah, congratulations. I love it.
Hi Marie, my name is Renee and I live in Western Australia. My partner transitioned in January this year, and since then I've had a profound spiritual awakening. And I stumbled across your channel and I've delved religiously into spiritual teachings. It's been amazing. I feel that I'm being called to explore my intuitive abilities and connect with the unseen realm. I had been a psychotherapist for the past few years, and now I'm wondering what my next steps are to find authentic joy. Psychotherapy brought me joy. I have enjoyed that space, but I feel like something is missing. And now starting to explore things like energy healing.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic if you could kindly connect to my spirit guides and loved ones and give me some guidance on my path. Thank you, Marie, for all the beautiful work that you do. It's truly a blessing for humanity.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you too, Renee, for everything you do in the world. You're the perfect type of person, not that they have to reach these type of criteria, but to be a therapist, a psychotherapist, and then move into the energy medicine world. I think it's really healthy because it's nice to understand the mental complexity of a human being's mind and help direct that when it's necessary. I definitely think you should work in the energy medicine field. You could become a medium if you wanted to. It's not uncommon for energy workers to start to see the dead, and it's not uncommon for mediums to have awareness of their clients' bodies and all of those things. Definitely. I mean, let's just get going. Start asking your patients if they'd like to have an energy session, and maybe book an extra 20 minutes with them, or do half an hour if your sessions are an hour of your psychotherapy, and do half an hour of energy work and see how it goes. I think you're ready to dive into this right away and start having experiences. I think that's not too uncommon. I'm a self-taught healer. Of course, people can take programs and take classes if that excites them and that's what they want to do. I just dove into it, and it worked really well for me. I think your clients are going to love it. I think also doing energy work with your therapy clients is going to attract even more spiritual based clients and people who have more awareness and consciousness, which is really fun to work with as well, because you won't have to explain certain aspects of higher realms of knowledge. They're going to already understand those things. You're going to have deeper conversations and change their perceptions about their mental and emotional health by shifting paradigms. Like recently, I worked with someone who had some significant trauma. One of their parents did, and sometimes when parents talk about their trauma a lot, it's hard on kids, right? It's not the easiest thing. And so my intuition shared with her that she should make a new truth about one of her parents' upbringing, and let it be different than what the upbringing was her parents shared. Just so that she can not be focused on this one, challenging aspect of her parent's childhood. So that's not a part of her reality anymore. Just making a new version, a new perception, which raises vibration, and we go into different realms of existence. And then we start attracting the vibration from these different realms of existence into our current body, into our current life. And then boom, things start to change in our life. Solutions come in. We have higher vibrational outcomes. It just makes life wonderful. So you're on the right path. I think that's really great. Your partner's happy that they could be a part of this experience because it was their passing that created that burst in consciousness. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Marie. This is Veronica from Michigan. My question is, I'm in the midst of a big career change, and I get this big, big vision of a big project to create that brings me incredible joy. And I know it's a way to serve.
Okay.
It's such a big dream. Is it just a dream? Are these my vain imaginings and desires? I want to follow divine guidance, and I want to serve and do something that brings joy. If you could help clarify, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So Veronica, I don't want to say that your big dreams aren't real. It's just that when humans start to awaken and start to have shifts in consciousness, sometimes their dream isn't actually part of the original plan. So for example, when I began to see energy, my first thought as I worked on patients in the hospitals, I'm going to train the staff. I'm going to teach them classes. I'm going to help change the hospital. We're going to help to change medicine. I was just so incredibly excited, and it made total sense to me. And I'm not saying the universe doesn't want that, but the universe is actually very practical in terms of where the human species is in their developmental process. So if your dream is going out to this place, which of course, even the dream I had, it will be a part of a reality at some point. But imagine if I spent a lot of my time trying to make that happen, I think that I would have been very disappointed, because hospitals have actually in the United States had energy healers for many, 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 many years. It's not uncommon, nor is it unusual for healing touch to be around the world. But the consciousness of hospitals and the way pharmacology works and the money that's created from that isn't ready for us to move into high levels of energy work, right? So even though I had that dream and I, began to imagine that and to feel it, I also stayed present. So that's the crucial part of it, is you get the clarity of the dream as you stay present. So what I was thinking about was something that would maybe take years, if ever it would happen. And at the same time that I would have those, oh my gosh, I would stay present. Okay, well, this is where I am right now. I'm a nurse in the hospital. I'm laying hands on a patient. I'm learning energy medicine. And what ended up happening, which I believe was meant to happen, is that I ended up having a practice, not even in the hospital. And I remember being sad about leaving the hospital initially. And yet the freedom that I've had of having my own practice has been phenomenal for me. I'm not, railroaded or safeguarded into certain pathways of thinking or certain pathways of speaking to clients. I have the freedom to use my consciousness any way I wish. And of course, I have over the years grown so that I can affect more people, which is also beautiful. So I love the idea of serving the world, but there is a stress about that and an urgency and a worry about that is not the present moment. Because every soul is here to figure out their own divinity. People heal themselves personally. Yes, healers like myself, we provide opportunities. We can help someone to transmute overnight. I'll tell you an interesting story in a minute. Like all kinds of things that we consider negativity that allows a soul to grow. So while you're having your dream, because I don't want to take away your dreams, sometimes dreams are what initiate the process of us shifting our reality so we can have a different experience. But keep coming back to the present moment, the present moment, the present moment, the present moment. So here's the story. I remembered it recently. I shared it in a class, and I had a client who had a fistula on her backside. So not in the rectum, but somewhere in the cheek area. We had our very first session together, and we don't live in the same state. So it was over the internet, like Zoom. And she'd had it for, I think, a couple of years, and she'd worked really hard to get rid of it. Fistulas are very painful. It's where some sort of tissue, I've only seen one before, leaves the body and starts to come out. It is a very painful thing. It's really sore. I can't even tell you everything that we talked about. I remember how beautiful her background was, what a lovely person she was. I liked her partnership. I remember those types of things. But whatever we said and the energy and the consciousness that was shared, something shifted in her consciousness, because that night she took a bath and the fistula disappeared, went away. And as far as I know, it's never come back. So stay in the present moment, because the present moment is really freaking cool and interesting and powerful and dynamic. And everything comes from the nothingness. And we feel the nothingness when we're in the present moment. And again, I'm not taking away your dream. I'm just letting whatever the real dream is to come forward. And it's not about serving humanity. It's about being happy and fulfilled and doing what brings you personal joy. That will help the human race, but it has to make you happy first. Okay.
Hi, Marie. This is Jaime from Anacortes, Washington. Had a quick question. Was wondering if you could tune in to see if I have any psychic abilities, and if my spirit guides have any messages for me or loved ones.
Aww.
Thank you so much. Love your podcast. Love what you're doing. You're a blessing from the universe. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jamie. And we're all blessings from the universe. Seriously, I'm taking your compliment in as I take in all of them. Thank you. And I want everyone to know that everyone is spectacular and amazing and magnificent. So of course you have intuitive gifts. You're actually quite psychic. And I can hear the universe telling you how much they love you, what a good person you are, how compassionate, how caring you are. I think one of the gifts that might help propel some of the other ones is that you're clairsentient. You feel a lot. And sometimes people who have that strong feeling nature, they tend to push their energy out, and that kind of weakens their multisensory perception. So if you could stay a little bit more in your body and feel, because really psychics, we don't push our energy out to read things. We're not searching around. We're very present and calm within our own body, and then things just come to us. So if you could stay more present in your body, feel your toes, wiggle your toes, feel energy inside your physical form as if it's moving just within you rather than pushing it out, trying to feel others or take care of others. That's going to propel the rest of your psychic abilities. I think you have all the clairs, like clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, but we need the clairsentient we need your energy, to be more present in your physical form. So I would practice that. Meditation could help with that. Qigong, any form of martial arts. Yin yoga is really lovely. And sometimes combining movement with meditation is excellent. Jinshin, those are holds, energy holds that help us to connect to our physical form more and run energy in the body. Thank you for your question. And thank you, everyone, for all of your questions. If you want to leave a voicemail message for me, please visit energyintuitive.com. My podcasts are available, or new ones come out on Mondays and Thursdays. Please like and subscribe below. That does help us. Okay, thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.